Good morning, everyone. Just as a quick reminder, today is the last day we'll have a live morning report until I get back from holiday a week from the upcoming Monday. And so here we're looking at SPY. The chart is doing just exactly what we thought it would. Here they are trying to buy up off of this edge here. We've got a value area low, excuse me, that low wick right here at, let's read what it is, 538.87. Is that right? Let me see. 538.87. That's going to be the floor today if the buyers can hold this area. This is the value area low. They're going to try and come in and bounce off of this 50 moving average. And so the formation should give us the following. See this noise here? This should push us up, but we are still in a sell the bounce zone. We'll buy the dips here, but only into the resistance area, at which point it'll be sell the rally. Notice the formations. Bullish, bullish, broken, so it's mean reversion. All right, and so if we're looking at mean reversion and we see that, we go, all right, here's some congestion. They're going to try and do it. If they can't, folks, it's going to move down. Here's the volume pocket below. This is where I think we're going. I think we are headed lower, but the bounce needs to give us the short because volatility is impressively present intraday. All right, so upper edge, 548, I suspect will be the high. I'm not sure we can get up over that. The low, anywhere from 536 to 530. We're going to fill in this volume profile here. That's my suspicion. Big breakdown in the Qs yesterday. As you remember, I said, hey, listen, this is where I think we're going, right? So now we bounced right off of this edge. Looks like a, what is that? Some line here that is underneath. That might be, that might be a 70% range line off of the volume profiles. See how the thin volume pockets are here? Bounces, going to be sell zones. Notice how big the bounce was yesterday in the Qs, and then we gave them all back up. And so same sort of thing going on. They're going to want to fill this area in. We continue to fade, but we are bouncing off the lows. So as long as 460 holds, we can buy the dip into the area. Here's the problem. If it does not hold, we've got another 10 points underneath us, potentially. It could happen. I mean, we are moving at a clip. Here is a gap. That's the next spot we're going to look at. The gap down here at the low volume node area, and that price action is around and about 455. Okay? So, somebody said something smarty pants about me being a person that buys the dip. Obviously, they haven't watched me for a long time. We know what the formation is telling us. We are in a cross current of motion, so we want to see the bounce before we sell, or our risk opens very wide. Okay? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days sitting here, they're going to try and hold it. If we can stay above the low of yesterday, buyers are going to try to move us up. Sadly, I think that the buyers, however, have been giving fuel to the downward rally because they have to end up puking it. So if you do run Top Step X, one of the things that I noticed that was remarkable watching the NQ, if we get to be about more than 50 points away, if the buyers get to be more than 50 points away from the actual price, where their average price is, the chart has a tendency to bounce into short-term resistance, irrespective of what the tilt looks like. So that's been very, very interesting. And this morning, I'll be on Fast Markets with the crew on Top Step TV. I look forward to seeing you there. Now, here's a trend line that we came in with the ES, came right into the zone. This is low volume node area, so we still have probably about 110 points left in the formation that we could fade to. All right. So that being said, what are we going to try to do here? first pass bounce. If we cannot get up and stay above the low of the prior day, which is 54.62, that's where we're battling right now, we are not going to be able to hold this floor, and we will move down into these lower pocket areas. All right. Right now, the traders are saying to themselves, you know what? I'm going to try and buy against the value area low. So watch for that number around 54.27 to bring buyers. The bounce action is going to give you the best risk on the short that you can find. Are we leaking into an area where we could start holding a floor? Yes. So watch for that. If we do not head lower in the first 30 minutes, it's very likely that we try to bounce and fill the gap. Take a look at this low here, 19,057, only 2.5 days ago, really. We were up over 20,000. So we've moved almost 1,000 points, actually over 1,000 points, in just a couple of days. That's very fast, but we went up in much the same way. And so filling in the volume profile is very likely. We are below the low of the prior day. And so are we? Here, what's that number? Yes, we are below that low, but we are above the low of the pre-market. And so the lowest low of the pre-market. So my thought would be, let it come into this, 18,950, and let's see if it'll bounce. The bounces are going to give us sell zones, but they are going to try and make a floor. All right? Upwards, 19,500. But I believe the longs are fueling this rally downward because they're puking up because they're trying to buy the floor. It's just providing fodder for the downward drive, just like an upward drive will be run by shorts trying to clip a top. The downward ride is being caused by buyers who are trying to pick a bottom. Where are we headed in the YM? Value area high, 40,100. We talked about coming into this zone yesterday. I talked about old resistance being new support. We did bounce off of the low, but we're really battling right around that 40,000 edge. What is my thought? Bounces are going to be sell zones. Here's a thin pocket. It could bounce all the way to 40,350. Going to be a little bit of a selling point right there in my mind. Look at the pre-market high. If we cannot get up over that pre-market high, we are very likely to leak lower, right? And it's going to be a grind to the south if that happens. With trend pockets, maybe the next place we test is 40,000, and then the VWAP and point of control regions are well below. VWAP at 39,608, point of control at 38,000 and some change. Easily we slip. All right, let's take a look at oil. My contention is that oil is in a downward pass, right? Remember, I don't know what day we were on with oil. I said, hey, listen, we're going to bounce, but if Trump wins, we know they're going to get money in here, and it's going to give us the fuel that we need. It's going to bring prices in. Some weird article came out that said, fuel prices continue to rise, that's California or whatever, and but this is actually coming under a very nice formation. If it cannot bounce off of 76, we are headed right back down to 74. All right? That's where we're headed. Let's take a look at gold. Lastly, wrong contract. They're trying to roll. Wow. Okay, so I'm a little surprised. I know we broke this a couple of days ago. I am surprised that... maybe I shouldn't be surprised. This is a whole pocket here, right? If we are actually trying to do anything here in gold, looks like 2338, but that trend line is fairly savage, right? Bounces are sell zones. We're caught in a big pocket of noise. Bullish, but noisy. So look for the deep dips to buy or the big spikes to sell. That would have been excellent. Yesterday at the 24.25, we talked about 24.29 actually. And now as we come down, we've got this 23.70. Could it hold? Yes. But I think it bounces into a sell zone because the real area is potentially down here near 23.15, 23.12. All right. Take care, everyone. And I'll see you on the platforms.